Well, hello there, Crusaders. Welcome back for another episode of Beyond the Armor.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's 2025.
That's right.
Can you believe it? This is our first episode of 2025. Things look a little bit different here in the studio. Yep. We have somebody new with us. We're going to introduce in just a moment. But first, we got to say this first. We have a sponsor. This is Beyond the Armor, brought to you by Brush Strokes Painting and More.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Did you see that sponsor there? I want to say thank you to Dan Falcone. This is a family-owned business by one of our Crusader families.
So good.
Who owns Brush Strokes Painting and More. Dan and Kristen are parents at First Pres. They have a daughter, Peyton, who's in 6th grade. So shout out, Peyton. You're awesome. All right. So, yeah. Man, I'm feeling good. No more Francisco.
No. Brush Strokes Painting. And more.
And more. Yeah.
I'm curious. I just want to know what the and more is.
I know. Like, what else do they do?
We'll
have to find out.
I asked that question, actually.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you find out?
I got some of it. Pressure washing, for example.
Perfect.
But think if you're going to paint, any kind of prep work or things associated with painting.
Okay.
The more.
Great.
And residential, commercial, I mean, I think they do a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So, hey, if you're looking for some painting, right, this is a good person to reach out to. Again, FPA, family-owned business. Mm-hmm. Appreciate their sponsorship of Beyond the Armor this semester. Going to be with us all semester.
Thank you so much.
Man, we are so thankful for that. And we also just want to say an introduction to Mr. Russ Bryan, who is with us.
Thank you.
If you don't know Russ, Russ is our new Chief Operations Officer, started with us back in the fall.
Yes.
So glad to have you here at FPA.
How's
it going so far?
It's crazy busy.
Yeah.
And very good, though.
Yeah.
Thrilled to be here.
Well, we're really excited to have you.
He has to manage me, so it's
that's a tough job.
There are some struggles.
Yeah. Now we have Russ with us because we want to talk about the strategic plan today. You know, strategic plan came out yesterday. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but first we're going to call this our first impressions.
Yes, in the studio.
Yes. We have not done one of these in the studio. So you may or may not know, depends on how much you actually watch, Beyond the Armor. Hopefully you'll watch this episode, right?
Yeah.
But first impressions is when we do a little interview with somebody who's maybe kind of new to Beyond the Armor. And so we have some questions for you.
Uh-oh.
And
I don't think I'm ready. Wait a minute. That was not part of the prep. But
probably let you off the notes. Don't know how that happened, right? But
these are easy.
Yeah, easy. Rapid fire. So the key is first thing that comes to your mind. All right, and we're just going to alternate. Okay. We're going to do this quickly. Keep it moving.
Fifth Amendment. Got it.
All right. Yep. So are you ready?
Well, yes.
All right.
You're good. All right. Here we go.
Here we go.
First one, obviously, Gamecocks or Tigers?
Tigers.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I knew it.
I'm a fan of Shane Beamer, though.
I do
I hear you.
There you go.
I hear you.
All right. What's your hometown?
Charlotte.
All right, Charlotte.
Charlotte. Very good. Okay.
Right.
Long walks on the beach or mountain nights under the stars?
Oh, wow. I'll go with beach, but man, that's close.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Early riser or night owl?
Neither. Neither or both.
Up late to bed early, right?
Man, that's great. All right, next one. If you were a car, what make and model would you be? Not year, just make and model.
Toyota Tundra.
Yeah.
There you go. That is the type of truck that I drive, the type of truck that you actually drive too. Uh-huh.
Not standard though. It has to have some modifications and trick it out a little bit.
So it's not like mine.
Or really like mine.
Fair enough.
All right. What is the worst food you have ever eaten?
I think they call it sushimi. It's the sushi with the seaweed wrap. Seaweed is like one of the nasty, and I had this in Japan.
Really?
It's one of the nastiest things I've ever eaten in my life. Although I've eaten a lot of nasty things in the Orient, but that's way up there.
Sushimi. That's fun to say.
All right. Sushimi.
Sushimi? Yeah.
All right. Next one. Who is your best friend?
My wife, Betsy Bryan. Shout out to Betsy
answer,
in case you watched that.
That's a good
Well, it's also the truth, so that's an easy one.
That is a much better answer than Tim gave when I asked him that question. Because not only did he not say his wife, he didn't even say me. I mean,
Come on, man.
Brad Shannon. That's 2 shout outs to Brad.
Brad, I hope you're watching. All right, last one, Russ. What would be your walk-up music when you come up to bat?
Oh, wow. Wow. Another one bites the dust. I don't know.
Oh, another one bites the dust over a classic. Awesome. Oh, man. Hey, Russ, that was good.
Thanks for participating in that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for not telling me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Hey, we're glad you're with us. We're going to get to the strategic plan in just a minute. But before we do that, last week was a big week here at FPA, right? Spirit Week was last week. A lot of fun.
So good.
Oh, man. Did y'all enjoy that? We had dress-up themes every day. Now, I don't know about y'all. I didn't participate in all of them, right? Friday was the best one with kind of get our school colors and Spirit Day. But what was your favorite?
My favorite was Dress Like Your Teacher Day. Mainly because I saw somebody dressed like you.
there were some that were dressed up as Dr.
Brown. I saw a couple that were Dr. Brown. And then there was one that was like, I'm going to dress like Mr. Tim.
Yeah, you had an elementary student
I did.
who dressed up like you.
Shout out to Jack. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, look at that.
He made up his own little tag, said Mr. Tim, Facility Manager FPA.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And Tim's actually spoke in chapel on that day.
I did.
And actually got to use Jack in part of your illustration too,
fantastic.
Right?
Yep.
That was,
it was great.
All right. That was a good one. That was a good one.
PJ Day was always, PJ Day's always a hit.
Oh, man. PJ Day is always a good one.
Now, I'm a little disappointed, though, that pancakes were not part of the day.
Well, we're going to try to reschedule that. It's not but of course we had to be careful with the weather. I weren't sure what the roads were going to be that morning. So we'll see. Don't worry. We'll try to get the pancakes in. A lot of different activities were already going on last week, right? We had dodgeball. We had a volleyball tournament during the school day in upper school. We had a powder puff. Of course, Friday night games. There were a lot of things. And 8 senior boys brought home the championship in that volleyball tournament. That was very nice. Fun. So
very nice.
Great time. And powder puff is always a classic.
For sure.
Did you ever coach powder puff?
Nope.
No.
When I was when I was in high school, the guys were the cheerleaders for powder puff, right? So that was
even worse.
Yeah, that was worse.
That would be worse.
And then Friday night, great crowd at the game. Had a lot of fun at the game. Great crowd, great games.
Lots of energy.
Yes,
great. Yep.
Love when that place gets going. That was a lot of fun. I had some alumni coming back. Just a really sweet environment. And then, of course, Saturday, we had the alumni basketball game.
Yeah, so good.
And the lunch, right?
Yep.
I mean, that was really enjoyed that. We had some staff there for the lunch. Yep. A lot of families, alumni families, had a really good turnout for that. And Lorinda's catered our lunch.
Fantastic.
Oh,
so
man.
good.
Thank you, Lorinda.
Yes, thank you, Lorinda. Yep.
Yes, Lorinda.
A former.
A Shannon Forest Christian School alum.
Very nice.
Actually, yeah.
Awesome.
So Lorinda, as an alum, thank you so much for doing that for us. Really appreciate that. Was a great way to kick off the year, and it is, new year 2025, coming back from Christmas break. A lot going on. Did y'all enjoy your Christmas break, by the way?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. Yeah.
He spent a lot more time on campus than he's ready to admit to.
I'm sure.
I got a lot of time with family
did.
though.
Yeah.
I got a lot of time with family. That's all I really wanted was all of our family was there. Grandkids were there. It was fantastic. So.
Yeah, I did too. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Elise Brown, right? I got to spend some time with my brother and sister-in-law. My sisters both came in town, one from Colorado, one from England. And so enjoyed spending some time with them and their families. So shout out to Ashley and Whitney. All right. I think I've covered all my shout outs now. I mean, it's been Christmas, coming back, Spirit Week, a lot going on. Think about celebrating with our alumni, coming back. There's the celebration of our past and who we are. But I think the start of a new year is also a really good time as we look ahead to the future, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the strategic plan we're going to talk about for the good portion of this episode today. Came out yesterday. There was actually an email that went out to all of our families yesterday, Wednesday, January 22nd. Got that email. Hopefully you read that, clicked on that link to check out the strategic plan and look at kind of our goals for the next 3 years, But this isn't just about the next 3 years, right? It's titled Vision 2028, right? So Vision 2028, shaping the future of FPA, because we're kind of looking ahead to the year 2028 with some of the projects that we're working on. But it's really a bigger vision, isn't it? I mean, it's really kind of more about looking, how do we set ourselves up for the future?
Right. Yeah. And I appreciate this just on my side of being under you and your leadership in this. So this is a shout out to you. I know this is not the best friend thing, but I appreciate the intentionality behind a strategic plan, because having no intentionality just leaves everybody to kind of wonder, where's the money go? Where's my kid going to, dress here or teach here or whatever. I mean, like all of that, there's so many questions that come from not being intentional with the plans of the finances and the property that we have and all of that. So I just appreciate all that. I think it's godly to do. I think it's part of our responsibility as leaders.
I think God calls us to be planners, right? Now we hold those plans loosely because this is his school. Right. And so we want to follow him as he leads, but we have to have a vision for where we're going. And I think that's so important. I mean, I wake up every day, and I've said this to the faculty and staff, and I wake up and I walk into, to my office or I walk into the downtown campus, or I walk into my office at the Shannon Forest campus, either place. And I'm just reminded that this is God's school, right? Like I have ideas of what I want this place to look like in 20 years and 30 years and 50 years. But it's not about what I want it to look like, right? It's about what does God want it to look like. And so that's why this wasn't just a Rob Brown effort, right? Putting this plan together was really a team effort. It started last spring. We gathered some data from parents. Parents had the opportunity to speak into this through a parent survey. We did some parent focus groups this fall to follow up on some things. Our leadership team went through a SWOT analysis process this summer where we looked at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as a leadership team together, talking about what are some of the key areas that we need to focus on in the next few years. We brought in teachers and we had faculty focus groups as part of that as well. We looked at student survey data from Student Survey last spring. We brought this to the board and the board spoke into this. So this was really a collaborative effort because it's not just about what do I want this place to be? It's about what is God calling us to do? And so that's why I'm really excited about this and thinking about us as a college prep, but more than that, a calling prep school. What does that mean for us? And I think that this plan helps us to start getting there, right? Start thinking about that a little bit. You think about calling prep. I mean, for me, I think about preparing students for eternity. That excites me. I don't know, you guys, when you think about calling prep, that's something that I can get behind. I'm really excited about.
Yep. For sure.
So we have 4 target areas in the strategic plan. So when you open up that strategic plan, you're going to see 4 different target areas. I just kind of want to talk through these just a little bit as a group, because the first target area actually has 2 different priorities within it. And these are facility improvements, right? That's the target area. Both of you guys work largely in facilities. Russ is Chief Operations Officer. Tim, you are the facility manager, right? I mean, we've got a kind of a short-term priority, a long-term as well as part of this. I mean, so when you think about it, how would you summarize our facility goals?
Yeah, I would put it into about 3 different categories. Appearance, absolutely. We want folks to be able to come in, see bright, see at least that we're taking care of the facility well. So appearance, function for sure. We want to be able to keep classes small, but have the appropriate desks and just things that need to function for the school on a regular basis. And then safety. Yeah. So those 3 things are kind of the biggest on the side of overview. I would say appearance, function, and safety are 3 of the bigger areas.
Yes, and the facilities do reflect on the see
Sure, absolutely.
And so you would hate for parents, stakeholders, prospects to come in and feel like you have to overlook part of the facilities in order to accept the realities that this is an excellent educational program or this is a great environment for my child. You want the facilities to follow the program and you want it to stand out and you just don't want it to be an issue.
Right. Yeah, I think what you said right there, I mean, just thinking about, I think when you look at our school, at FPA, it has such a strong culture. That's one of the things that really drew me to it, the family culture. But I do think that sometimes we can tend to look past certain features, right? Like facilities, and we have some aging facilities. We recognize that we have things about our facilities on the Shannon Forest campus particularly that need to be addressed in order for us to move forward. And then Russ, you just said something else. Basically, our facilities should follow program.
Yes.
Right? Not the other way around. And I think in schools, sometimes we've done that the wrong way. But really trying to think, programmatically, and you'll see in the strategic plan when we get to some others, how that program piece really helps to drive facilities.
Yeah, that gets more important over time with this. One of our priorities, or actually a couple of them, we would do some planning, thinking about program. about opportunities, fine arts, athletics, educational. And so you think about who you're trying to reach out, how are you trying to teach, and then what resources do you need? Part of the resources, technology, facilities, furniture, things like that. What do you need in order to accomplish?
Right.
And you need to do it in that order.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, like you said, facilities follows program. So part of the strategic plan, there's an upfront part, clean up what we have, make it better. Mm-hmm. But then there's a secondary part that follows program.
Right.
And I think that's the important thing is let's define, and that's strategic, right? That's the part that gets more strategic.
Yeah, and that's kind of some of the short-term and long-term pieces, right? I mean, with the short-term, there are some things that we just know we need to do. We need to make some things look better. In fact, you guys, over Christmas break already, some projects have already been in the works, right? I mean, what are some of can y'all share a little bit of some of the projects
Me
we're
or
working
you?
on?
No, go ahead.
Well, I think the one that was a great challenge for us was the ceiling and the gym, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Because the way the gym is constructed, the ceiling insulation that you could see it before, that's hard to replace. Mm-hmm. And so we had Cannon Roofing come in, and we feel like they've done an excellent job doing the best they can
looks
to,
a lot better.
if you will, patch it.
Looks
So that
really
was
good.
done. We cleaned the soccer field fence line,
Yeah.
had that cleaned, and that was an extensive effort.
Yep.
So good.
So we did that. We replaced the copier print. I guess they call them multifunction devices now. I call them copiers.
Yeah, Jamie Arthurs was really excited about our copier updates. We got a nice new copier in there that can run some really good material.
Yeah,
so
you be careful. You'll walk in there. She's hugging it.
I'm pretty sure she's really excited about that thing.
That thing's a boat.
Oh man, it's huge. It's huge.
But it can print. It can print anything almost, and it's beautiful.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's and I guess thank you to First Presbyterian Church for making that
That's right.
possible
That was
for
First
us.
Presbyterian Church
So
actually
thanks,
is where we
guys,
got
for
that
doing that.
copier. Really appreciate that. We got go ahead.
New basketball goals.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yep.
Has there been a slam dunk contest out there yet?
No, I'm aware. It's been too cold.
I know. I'm waiting on it.
Full disclosure, Ray and I did a little bit.
So
we didn't invite the fifth graders in yet.
So you can really set those goals low. Then.
Man. Come
on, man. Guest here. Who invited this guy?
You're mentioning lower school. You're mentioning some things in athletics. I know, too, we've got kind of coming up. We're looking at lower school garden as a project we're already working on as well for this spring, hoping to do some updates there. And then this summer, upper school hallways and restrooms, is in the Shannon Forest campus, something else that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's a very involved project. The hallways, if you think about what all needs improvement there.
Yeah.
Wow. Popcorn ceiling removal.
Yeah.
Lighting. Painting. Flooring. We'd love to have some graphics on the walls and something to just kind of show this is actually a school.
Yeah. Bathrooms.
The bathrooms are their own thing. They there's a lot of work to do there.
Trying to get rid of the Stranger Things vibe. That's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
We've got some work to do. Things are already in progress, and a lot of this, as Russ and Tim mentioned, where the facility should follow the program, right? And so we want to be very intentional as we plan these updates, and that's hopefully what you'll see as you look through that in the strategic plan. Intentionality is really important, and two, touching all aspects of school life. And so the majority of our facility work is going to be on the Shannon Forest campus, but still we're trying hard within the plan to address downtown campus needs, Shannon Forest campus needs, preschool, lower school, upper school, really trying to touch every part of our school life that's needed. So.
Right.
And so that's our first major area. Our second target area is educational programming. And again, there are two different priorities within educational programming, and really, looking at how everything fits together. Again, it's preschool all the way up through high school within this. And part of this, one of our initiative areas is within technology, right? And so that's kind of a buzzword in education, right? We live in this world of technology, but we're trying to be intentional that this isn't technology driving the program.
Yes, and that's a danger.
Yeah.
And in the educational environment, that is a danger. But again, it comes back to let's speak with the teachers, let's speak with the administration, let's speak with the parents. What and how are we going to teach? And then what technology supports that?
That's right.
And you do that. You focus. You try not to overspend on technology. You try to make sure that you have a plan that when this piece of technology gets old, obsolete, you have a way to replace it. So that's its own thing,
right?
As far as its planning,
right?
Yeah, and it really does connect with your educational programming. Both of you guys have spent some time in the classroom, right? Both of you have experience teaching, and so you know that teaching is much more than just following the textbook, right? I mean, there's curriculum mapping, there's planning, there's making sure that you're meeting the skills that your students need, right? Helping them where they are, and so looking also at what are the things that our students need to graduate with. Certification opportunities that our students may have, right? So thinking about some of that, what are those programs that we can develop in middle school and high school that will help our students to graduate with certain skills and abilities that will allow them to enter the workforce if they so choose, or better prepare them for college, right? And not only for college, but prepare them for life, for being community members and church members and spouses and parents, right? And prepare them for eternity, because we're going to do all of this from a biblical worldview. That is the foundation on which we stand, and helping them to grapple with and take ownership of their relationship with Christ in that context. And so that's really looking at all that holistically, I think is so important.
For sure.
Yes.
Keeping our foundation in the midst of that is huge. So,
well, not getting so far ahead that you're missing out on the things that, like, the world is going to try to use technology to drive the thinking, the worldview, the aspects of, and so it's a big challenge to have to undertake on that side of things. So
it is.
Teachers are going to have to be trained to use new technologies, and so we'll have to keep them up on that side of things as well. So.
Yeah, our third target area is branding and public relations. This is actually an area where we've already made some recent strides. So we've recently announced new academic logo, new athletic logos, really trying to solidify our visual identity in the community as First Presbyterian Academy. And coming off of the acquisition, First Presbyterian Academy in Shannon Forest 5 years ago, I think we're really trying to move forward with that of who we are, so that when we say FPA and First Presbyterian Academy in our community, that it's clear who we are. We have a visual presence to match that. We don't want to be the hidden gem in Greenville anymore, right? We want to be the gem that everybody knows about, right? The diamond that everybody's talking about. And that doesn't mean that we're going to have space for every single student who wants to come here, but it does mean that we want people to know who we are. Right. So already making some good strides in that. Did y'all get the email that went out last week about our updated logos?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
They're fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
I'm really excited. If you didn't see that, check out that email. Went out last week, and then make sure that you also, we're going to be integrating these into our attire, our facilities, and that's what that plan is about. There's a process and intentionality to do that. It's going to take time. If you're wearing something with an old logo on it, don't worry. You're going to be all right. Okay, we'll get there, but yeah, really excited about that. So our last area is about teacher care and recruitment. And teachers, that's the heartbeat of the educational process, right? We have great teachers at FPA.
Absolutely. Yep.
Love them. You spend some time in classrooms occasionally. You got to go in there to do some work, right? Some great teachers, aren't they?
They're amazing. They're on the front line. I mean, they're in with students. They're building kingdom. One soul at a time.
Yeah.
And so it is incredible to see and be a part of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really appreciate what our teachers do. So, that's the heartbeat of our program. We need to take care of them. So we're looking at benefits packages. How do we improve those? We're looking at teacher salaries. How can we continue to improve our teacher salaries while at the same time not raising tuition exorbitantly, right? I mean, we think about revenue sources and how we do this. We've got 3 buckets. And we talked about this back in a video that we released in November, right? There are essentially 3 revenue sources. You have your operational budget, you have your Armor Fund, that's our annual fund program, and then you have your endowment fund. And that's why the endowment is going to be really important. We're planning to utilize the endowment fund to help us work on building improvements in our teacher salaries in the years to come. Yes. So that's going to be really important. But think about all the facility stuff, branding stuff. It's not just, some of this will be done in operational budget, but we really need that Armor Fund as well, that funding. I mean, when you think about some of these facility projects, Russ, you're talking some money here,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Like when update the hallways and restrooms, if we're doing that this summer, I mean, that's probably going to be about a $200,000 project.
If you do both, for example, the high school hallway is 200 feet long.
Right.
The restrooms of both of those need so much work, and it's there's a lot to it. We'll move at the speed of money.
That's right.
And we'll do what we can. And, we'll of course, we declared our intentions. We'll see what God wants to support there. And, of course, the Armor Fund is the way that we do that for the most part.
And I think if we don't include this teacher piece in that and are intentional in doing a better job with our budgeting, which so thankful for Leanne Palmer and the great job that she does in helping to lead that, a lot of intentionality in that process. If we don't do these things and include teachers in this, we can do everything else and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because teachers are our heartbeat. When we did that parent survey last spring, parents spoke and they talked about what they love about FPA. They love the teachers first and foremost, and they see them pouring in to our students. And so that's really important. We are committed to tackling these things, to funding these the best way possible. We appreciate your gifts and your generosity. So thankful for a generous community that already just year-end giving brought in almost $50,000 into our Armor Fund to help us with some of these projects.
It's impressive.
So
it's
great. Very, very thankful.
And we'll be very transparent, sharing with where that money, not where it came in, but how much came in, how we're using it.
That's right.
We want to be good stewards of that as well.
That's exactly right. So look for the strategic plan on our website. Go to firstpresacademy.com. There is a page on there with our strategic plan. Russ, we really appreciate you joining us.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. Sorry to take your seat. Yeah,
that's right. Hey, all right. Before we go, a few things that are coming up. All right. Coming up in the next couple weeks. Tomorrow, Friday, January 24th, we got preschool and lower school night at the basketball games.
That's going to be so much fun.
I love it when those kids come out. We want to challenge our preschool and lower school. Pack out the forest.
Yes.
All right. Come out and support our Crusaders. Going to be a great night. And then turn around Monday, January 27th. We got lower school donuts for dudes.
Donuts for dudes.
I mean, we're dudes.
I'm a dude. Yeah.
Right. We should go get some donuts. Right.
Looking forward to that.
Downtown and Shannon Forest campuses, both on Monday and Tuesday, the 27th and 28th, we have a food drive going on. Non-perishable food items. Right. So canned food. Do Twinkies count? Are Twinkies non-perishable?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think
they last forever.
Right.
We should test this.
And then also Monday is the 100th day of school. Did y'all know that? Hard to believe.
Ooh,
100th day of school
100 days.
celebration. That's right. I'm excited about that. All right, coming up on Tuesday the 28th, senior night at the basketball games. And then don't forget, in February, we've got Candygrams starting February 3rd. That's 2 weeks. Candygrams.
Do Candygrams come with a song?
What's a candygram? I want one.
No one.
I mean, I don't know. It should.
What happens if your candygram gets denied? That's what I really want.
Oh man! All right. Hey, don't send one in that's going to get denied. Candygram starting February 3rd. Information coming out about that. February 5th, Crusader Stations muffins for ma'ams, and Friday, February 7th, lower school daddy-daughter dance.
Oh,
I will be there.
Sweet. That's going to be awesome.
That's right, Grace. Get ready. We're gonna go do our dance moves. It's gonna be awesome.
Sweet.
All right. Hey, we've taken enough time today. This has been great. So thankful for you guys. Thankful for what God is doing here at FPA. And our next episode's coming out next week, January 30th, 2 weeks in a row.
Come on, back to back, baby. Back to back.
Right.
Just like the volleyball team.
Look at that, back to back. Hey, high five for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Crusaders. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.